What happens when you give yourself just 7 days to beat Minecraft with only one life? I'm Loako, and welcome to the first episode of 1 Week, 1 Life, a series where I take Minecraft challenges, attempt to beat them, and then show you my attempts through the best cinematic Minecraft videos you've ever seen. Will I make it to the end, or will Minecraft stop me? Let's find out. I spawned in a massive desert in the middle of nowhere. I ran around the desert for days and eventually found a single tree. This tree gave me just enough for a wooden pickaxe, which was exactly what I needed to start mining. As I was mining, something happened that could have ended my whole journey right then and there. It was a creeper that had spawned deeper into the cave, and all I had to fight it was my wooden pickaxe. As soon as the creeper spotted me, it started its attack. And just like that, I had survived my first attack. I did notice something while fighting. I noticed a mine shaft further into the cave. I wanted to explore the mine shaft, but I fled because of lack of loot and dangerous mobs. I then located and searched another mine shaft, but still nothing. This was when I started to realize that food had become a major problem for me. So I boated away to try to find something that wasn't a giant desert. I traveled in the ocean for a long time with harsh weather conditions appearing often. Eventually, I spotted something of interest. A shipwreck. Could that have the food and resources I desperately needed? I searched the entire shipwreck, but it didn't have close to anything I needed. The only things I found were 10 potatoes, and half of them were poisonous. Right next to the shipwreck, though, I spotted an island. I then decided to try searching the island for food and other resources, and while it was not much of an improvement from the last one, it had something the other one didn't. A village. This village had all I needed: a bed, food, and even some iron. I raided the entire village, every house, every hay bale, everything that could help me in my journey to the end. When I was done with the village, I explored a bit more of the island and found a cave. In this cave, I found many ores like iron and coal, but I also found some more creepers that wanted revenge. After finally defeating all the mobs and extracting all the ores I could, I returned to the village to craft better gear. When I was all geared up, I decided to leave the village for good this time and continued traveling. After a little while, I encountered another structure, a pillager outpost. However, this pillager outpost was missing something. It was missing the actual outpost. I was able to clear off the pillagers from the outpost quite quickly, and I gotta admit, that made me feel pretty confident. After surviving so much already, I was sure I could make it to the end. After I celebrated my new level of confidence, I began searching, and then eventually spotted it. The missing outpost. It was generated in a giant cave. I knew I had to get down there and see it up close in person, so I let some water down from a nearby river and made my way to the outpost. When I made it down, I searched the outpost and decided to make it home base, at least for now. I then set off into the cave in hopes for better resources. Immediately, I was greeted by a not-so-friendly group of mobs. But right after defeating the last mob, I saw it. Diamonds. Now, it was only one diamond, but I wasn't gonna stop there. I kept searching the cave, finding diamonds after diamonds, and fending off mobs. Some parts were tricky, but after a little while, I made it back safely with all the diamonds needed. I started day 2 with the goal to enter the Nether, find a fortress, and gather all the resources necessary to make it to the end. I figured I would use one of the nearby lava pools to create the Nether portal. After a few tries and some failed attempts, I eventually made a Nether portal. Once I entered the Nether, I realized just how dangerous this trip was going to be. But that didn't stop me. I was determined to complete this challenge. So, I set off to find my first necessary item. To find that item, I first needed to find a Nether fortress. I had to travel for a long time and had a couple of close calls with the Dimensions mobs and harsh heat. But after staying optimistic and not giving up, I found one. A Nether fortress. I knew that if my journey to the fortress has nearly led to death, this was going to be quite the challenge. I mined my way in and ran until I found just what I came here for. Blazes. Unfortunately for me, I only just realized now that I was about to fight my biggest enemy yet, with almost no durability left on my shield. Every time I went to attack, I almost died. Eventually, I had the bright idea to cave myself into one of the spawns. The spawn started to fill up with too many blazes, and I quickly realized that that was a bad idea. So, I had to escape through the roof and barely survived. Now, at this point, I was ready to leave, but I only had 3 blaze rods, which was not nearly enough. So, I found a different spawner that wasn't crowded and kept fighting. Just as I had gotten the final blaze rods, my shield broke. I then knew I had to get out of there, so I escaped and immediately encountered a ghast. I have never been good at redirecting fireballs, so it was a bit of a challenge, but eventually I got it. After defeating the ghast, it was time to return to the portal. This was the moment I realized I didn't write down my portal coords. I had no idea where my portal was. I was lost and almost made some crucial mistakes, so I knew I needed to make a plan. First, I assessed the situation. I knew I couldn't go back and find my previous portal because the spawn location of it was so hidden. I didn't have any obsidian on me because I used a lava pool to create the portal and didn't think to mine any of the obsidian. And lastly, for those of you who don't know, water doesn't work in the Nether. Second, I needed to make the plan. I tried thinking of all the different ways that I can make a Nether portal and quickly realized that my only option was to raid a bastion. Why? Bastion chests will occasionally have obsidian in them. So, Just like that, the plan was set. Find and raid a bastion. Now, the finding part of the plan was appearing more difficult than anticipated. I had to travel through many dangerous biomes, but I was still not going to give up. I was determined to complete this challenge until... I'm dead. I didn't see that there was a gap between the two pieces of land, and I fell to my doom, right next to my nether portal. Oh my gosh, it's the fact. It's the fact that it's right there. It's the fact that it's right there. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here, I'm shocked. I thought I was gonna make it all the way. Well, I'm a man of my word. My journey ends here. And that's what happens when you give yourself just 7 days to beat Minecraft with only 1 life. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of 1 Week, 1 Life. This video took me weeks to make, so if you liked it and want to see more of this series, subscribe. I'm also in the process of planning a civilization event. If you want to apply, which I think you should because it'll be pretty cool, you can do so by joining the Discord in the video description or in my channel description. And that's all I got. Bye-bye, and see you next time.